Giants, a long trek to the California coast against the Los Angeles Raiders. Live from the Los Angeles Coliseum in Los Angeles. The weather, boy, you couldn't ask for a better day. 69 degrees, wind 15, 20 miles an hour. It doesn't feel that strong. The forecast is for a sunny afternoon, and it is ideal in Southern California. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall. The Giants, with their 3-8-1 record, come to face one of the best teams in the NFL, the Los Angeles Raiders. But the Giants come off a performance last week of which they're rather proud. In spite of all the adversity they've had, they beat the Eagles last week, shut them out, and Butch Woolfolk carried an NFL record 43 times. But facing the Raiders is another process entirely. John Madden, of course, led the Los Angeles Raiders, then the Oakland Raiders, to many, many conquests, a Super Bowl championship. What do the Giants have to do against your former team?
Well, you know, of course, the Giants have had a disappointing season this year, and I think if they could pull an upset off here today, that could really save their season. And that's what Bill Parcells is thinking. What they would like to do is be able to run. They're going to use a one-back offense, but you don't just go out and run against this Raider defense. If you're going to run, you have to be able to pass. You have to make them respect both things. So I think the key is going to be if they can pass and pass protect today.
This Raider team is 9-3, and they may not be as good as the teams that you led. But as we watched them in practice today and watched them down on the field in warm-ups, they look like a pretty formidable squad.
I think they're very good. You know, the thing that bothers Coach Tom Flores is that this year they have 42 turnovers. And he said, doggone, it just seems like we go out there and we can't get an easy one. We can't breathe. He said, we would like to get rid of that. The other thing he says that we have to be patient today. The Raiders like to throw the ball deep, go deep all the time. Cliff Branch, Speed, all those guys. But he said, the Giants are going to play us in zone, so we have to be patient. The other thing he said we have to do is we have to block Lawrence Taylor. Now, that's going to be an interesting thing to watch today.
And we'll have a chance to watch the Giants on offense first, as Chris Barr will kick off, and Butch Woolfolk, who will get a lot of work again this Sunday, is back deep for the Giants, and he fields Barr's kick at the 8. Does not make it back to the 20. Raiders down, led by Jack Squirick, in good shape. The Giants' offensive backs and receivers. Scott Bruner, the quarterback. Woolfolk will be, for the most part, the lone running back. Ernest Gray and Floyd Eddings, the wide receivers. And the H-back, Malcolm Scott, number 80. Up front, Benson Ard, Hughes, Turner, Gordon King, who will have a long afternoon against Howie Long. And Zeke Mowat is the tight end. Woolfolk outside, got a couple. Hit by Rod Martin and Bob Nelson. And let's run down that Raider defense. It's a good one. Long, Kinlaw, and Lyle Alzado as they play a three-man front. Ted Hendricks, the veteran, Matt Millen, the large one, Bob Nelson, and Rod Martin, the quick one. In the secondary, and it's a veteran, very good secondary. Hayes, Watts, Davis, and Van McElroy, who's really playing well. Second down. 7 to go for the Giants. Raider 22. Bruner gives to Woolfolk. Straight ahead. He'll have a first down outside the 30. Van McElroy made the stop.
Well, this was a thing that Bill Parcells said that they had to do. He said we have to be able to run. They're running the one-back offense now. Butch Woolfolk, the only back in the backfield. You see that little delay there? He fakes like he's going to the left, and then boom, comes back to the right in a counter play. He got a first down here.
Bill Parcells, the Giants head coach, been a long, disappointing, and heartbreaking year for him in many, many ways. Ernest Gray has been in motion, still in motion. The handoff is again to Woolfolk. Over the right side for about 3. Mike Davis made the stop. Woolfolk starting to look more comfortable.
Well, he does, and I think he's a lot better running back when he can run straight into the line as opposed to going right and left like he has to as a halfback.
The injury to Rob Carpenter may have speeded his development. That is a final score. The Chicago Bears have beaten San Francisco 13-3. Those of you who watched that Bear victory, welcome to the Coliseum in Los Angeles for the Raiders against the Giants as Howie Long takes down Butch Woolfolk.
This is the thing that Bill Parcells was saying yesterday, the Giant coach, that we want to be able to do this. They've started off, they've run every play so far, but he knows in order to do it all day, you have to loosen them up a little by throwing the football.
Lyle Alzado, we have just been informed, has an ankle injury. Don't know how serious, but that's why he's not playing, and Long is now playing defensive right end. Bruner gets it outside in the direction of Byron Williams, incomplete. And we'll take a look at one of the best punters in the NFL, Dave Jennings. Two of the very best are here today. Ray Guy, of course, for the Raiders. Greg Pruitt, so many great years at Cleveland, will try to return the kicks for the Raiders. Penalty marker down already. Pruitt gets to the outside, dances to about the 43 before he's brought down by Lawrence Taylor.
You know what happened on that play, Pat? The Raiders had too many guys on the field. The defense was coming off, and they didn't get off the field. So that's going to be against the Raiders, and that's an undisciplined thing.
Defense, 12 men on the field, first down.
12 men, they had about 15 or 16 men on the field.
Fred Silva is the referee. We'll check out some of the others. Butch Woolfolk, the lone setback. Scott Bruner is the quarterback. Ernest Gray in motion. Outside quickly to Gray. Raider defense gets out, reacts quickly, led by Bob Nelson. But it got good yardage nevertheless.
The guy get as fired up to play a football game as Lyle Alzado.
Byron Williams in motion. Woolfolk the ball carrier. Cuts back inside. Good yardage. Another Giant first down. Bob Nelson on the tackle. Raiders think a lot of number 71, Piquel.
Well, you know, he was a rookie. He was their number 2 draft choice from Rutgers. And he said that he came in and he's just strong. He plays a run. He plays a pass. Watch him right here on Brad Benson. Benson does a good job because Piquel gets up too high. You see, he was standing up, but he did a nice job of getting off the block and back in and helping the tackle.
But Woolfolk got the first down, so the Giants move into Raider territory. John Missler. That's the final score. New Orleans beat Minnesota 17-16. Big win for the Saints. And a big loss for Minnesota. More than any NFC Central is, well, unpredictable.
How about that NFC West?
Folk got only one. Byron Williams. Split out wide to the right. Ernest Gray wide to the left. Here comes Williams in motion. Bruner hit from the outside by Rod Martin. Another of the Raiders who's having an outstanding year.
He's an amazing guy. He's in his 7th year now. We drafted him 8 years ago. He was our last pick, the 12th round pick. We waived him. He went on, played with the 49ers, and then he came back. He was the outstanding player in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They just didn't block old Rod on that play. See those eyes? He said, well, I like that. I play outside. I come in and rush the passer. No one blocks me. He said, that's a pretty good deal.
That's the way to play it. John Tuggle now in the backfield with Joe Morris as the Giants have to throw. Instead of that, they run a draw play to Morris. He shakes to the outside, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, is out of bounds, and the Giants will have to punt. For an update right now, the Los Angeles Raiders. Greg Pruitt is standing at his own 10. Dave Jennings will punt for the Giants. Good shot. Pruitt lets it sail. No. Finally does catch it at about the 5-yard line. The Giants were down quickly, but a penalty marker has been dropped on the field.
45-yard punt.
45-yard punt by Jennings. No return as the officials go into
win. That's what the good teams do. I mean, they have 42 turnovers, second worst in the league, but they just keep winning.
Jim Plunkett drops the ball in the end zone, and the Giants will have a safety. Plunkett, Bill Courier came up quickly. Plunkett fell on the ball in the end zone, and that's just what you were talking about.
That's the type of thing that happens to him. You know, as Tom Flores was saying, he said, we just can't go out and have an easy one. He said, every game win, we have to make a game out of it.
Plunkett, of course, making one of his what seemed like annual comebacks.
Well, here it is right here. You know, he starts to turn. See, he's reverse pivoting. He's going to reverse from the left to the right, and right in the middle of his pivot, he just lost the ball. And that's a smart thing. Just dive on it. Give him 2. If you just start scrambling around there, if the Giants recover the ball, of course, that would be 7 points, 6 points.
Because you can't use a tee. You have to kick it off the ground like a field goal or an extra point, not like a kickoff.
Right, and a punt should be able to go farther than a kickoff, a free kick.
And stay up there a lot longer. He didn't get it. Fumble! The Giants do get it back at their own 45. Mike Mayock is the man to handle it. Steinfeld is the one who made the recovery. 1st and 10 as Scott Bruner looks over the Raider defense. Mistler in motion. Woolfolk, the ball carrier, did well to get back to the line of scrimmage. Otis McKinney came up to make the stop. Right defensive end, and Long at the other side. Reggie Kinlaw, the nose tackle. He's a good one. Bruner back to throw. Chased by Hendricks. Away from Hendricks. Does throw. Has the ball knocked loose. Byron Williams was the intended receiver, and Ted Watts put the hammer on him.
You know what the Raiders are doing now is they're using 2 safeties in there. You know, they have Mike Davis, and then they have McKinney, Otis McKinney in there, and they're playing the 2 safeties because the Giants are playing 2 tight ends.
Now they put James Davis in as well. Bill Parcells over on the sideline. The Los Angeles Coliseum. Home of the 1984 Olympics, or some of them at least. That's Mistler in motion. Bruner out of the shotgun. Outside quickly for Mistler, thrown behind him. And Jennings will have to come on to punt. James Davis on the coverage. That's one of the things that Parcells going. Almost blocked, but he hangs it high to Pruitt. Pruitt at the 16, signaled for the fair catch. Tony Caldwell was the Raider who came close to blocking that kick of Jennings, but it was a good punt nevertheless. 39 yards, no return, so a 39-yard net. Los Coliseum. Marcus Allen and Kenny King are the 2 running backs. Marcus Allen, hit by Brad Van Pelt, might have spun backwards for about a yard. The offense of the Raiders. Jim Plunkett, the quarterback, Marcus Allen and Kenny King, the running backs, Cliff Branch and Malcolm Barnwell, the wide receivers. Up front, Bruce Davis, Charlie Hanna, Dave Dalby, Mickey Marvin, Henry Lawrence, and the league's leading receiver, Todd Christensen. Tight end. Branch at the bottom of your picture, Barnwell inside of him. Plunkett hands to Kenny King. Oh, Marcus Allen, sorry. Lawrence Taylor on the tackle.
23, Brian Kelly made the stop.
The Giant defense, it's a 3-man front. 3rd down for the Raiders. They need 4 for a first. Plunkett back. Penalties go down. It's intended for Branch over his head. Plunkett had some pressure.
He did. You know, one of the interesting things that the Raiders do, that's going to be a penalty against the Raiders holding. I'm sure it'll be declined because of Giant formation.
Ray Guy to punt. Shaw back deep. Guy doesn't get it to turn over, but Shaw will handle it at his own 39. Raiders down in a hurry. Derek Jensen and Kenny Hill there right on top of him. 39-yard punt, a 6-yard return, so Ray Guy's net is 33 yards. 6:38 left to play first quarter. The Giants get the football again. They lead the Raiders 2-0. 144. And the possession so far belongs to them. Here's the counter play that teams have been running, and Woolfolk slips down. Here comes a flag down. Lester Hayes came in to make the stop on Butch.
foul, Raiders.
Personal foul against the Raiders.
I'll tell you one thing, the Raiders are giving the Giants all the opportunity that they need here in this first quarter.
Oh, they
gave
are.
them a safety.
Defense, number 36, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, blow to the head. First down.
36 is Mike Davis. He doesn't think he did anything.
Loss on the Raiders 37, first down.
First down at the Raider 37. Gray in motion. Woolfolk on the counter play, nothing doing. Nothing doing. Still has the ball. Swings to the outside. Cuts back inside, and Butch Woolfolk, with a heck of an effort, gets something from nothing. Lester Hayes knocked him out of bounds. Rod Martin had a shot at him in the backfield.
I'll tell you, Rod Martin came from that right side like he was shot out of a gun. It was that counter play. Woolfolk faked to the right, comes back to the left. Now watch here. Now what? He'll start faking to the right, and then he's going to run back to the left. But watch Rod Martin. He'll come shooting in here, right to right of the screen right there. Just as Butch Woolfolk turned, there was Rod Martin. But Woolfolk made a heck of a play out of that thing.
And Scott Bruner got a heck of a block on Rod Martin. They get Woolfolk get out of the trap. Bruner outside. Malcolm Scott, DH back
Pass is complete to Malcolm Scott. He has dropped
to the 30.
30-yard line.
For an NFL up. Line of scrimmage, the Raider 29. They need 2 for a first down. They send Missler in motion. Bruner backpedals. Pass knocked away by Bob Nelson and very nearly picked off by Nelson. Intended for Ernest Gray. So here comes Ali Haji Sheikh. Missed only 3 field goals all year. Bruner is the holder. 23 out of 26 on the year. 256 yards. Wide right. All you have to do is brag about people, I guess. So the Giants come away empty, but they still lead the Los Angeles Raiders 2-0 in the first quarter from the Coliseum, home of the LA Raiders, who have the ball right now. Plunkett will throw on first down, or try to. Here comes Lawrence Taylor. Plunkett got it away. Marcus Allen dances to the 35. Bill Courier made the stop. Lawrence Taylor very nearly took the helmet and perhaps some more of the equipment off Jim Plunkett.
You have the feeling that the Raiders may not know as much about Lawrence Taylor as other teams do because they haven't played against this guy who may be. Lawrence Taylor just may be the best football player in the National Football League. And he has to have special blocking.
And certainly a lot of attention. That's Marcus Allen in motion. Handoff is to Kenny King. Takes a couple of tackles. And King out of bounds after getting a Raider first down. Terry Kennard knocked him out.
Maybe the Raiders do know more about him and say, well, let's just run away from him. He's lining up over on our left. Let's run Kenny King to the right.
Well, really, a lot of teams try to run away from him, but he runs them down.
He catches him. You can't run away from him to the inside. You can run away from him to the outside, but he'll run it down to the inside.
First down, Raiders at their own 44. Giants leading 2-0. King in motion. Fake to Allen. Plunkett looks. Barnwell, another Raider first down. Hit down by Brian Kelly, but it's in Giant territory at their 43. 13-yard gain.
I'll tell you one thing that they did. They kept their tight end, Todd Christensen, in, their leading receiver, the leading receiver in the whole NFL. They kept him in on that pass play to block Lawrence Taylor.
That's Malcolm Barnwell, who caught the pass, who seems to be injured or shaken up or wind knocked out of him right now.
Watch this. It's a little fake. He fakes to Marcus Allen. That takes the linebackers out to the right. Then Malcolm Barnwell comes in against the grain and finds that hole.
That was Bill Courier who put the hit on that hurt Barnwell, but he came off under his own power.
Well, the Giants had those opportunities, and they sure didn't take advantage of them. With all those opportunities and only come off with 2 points, that's not getting the job done.
That's Branch up at the top of your picture, and Dokie Williams at the bottom. The He can do a lot of things. Williams has it knocked away right at the very last second. A good defensive play by Terry Kennard.
Let's watch Lawrence Taylor here, number 56. We'll see how they're blocking him. He started in the middle, so they didn't know where he was. Shifted to the outside. Now the Raiders are putting their tackle, Bruce Davis, out on him. He does a nice job. See me, just gets square, turns him to the outside, gives Plunkett time.
It has to be somebody like that. Somebody that big to handle Lawrence Taylor.
Someone that big that can get to him that quickly.
2nd and 10 Raiders. Barnwell back in action, goes in motion. This is Marcus Allen. Jumping over a couple of tacklers. Jumped over Mark Haynes and got about 5.
I'll tell you, there's a guy that they love down here, is that Marcus Allen. They say that he can do it all. He runs with it, he blocks, he catches. He's had a little problem fumbling this year, and Tom Flores said, I don't know what the heck it is, but what do you say to a great back when he fumbles?
Maybe that's part of doing it all.
I think so, because, you know, sometimes to keep your balance, to make great moves, you get the ball in some funny positions.
That's a pretty good conversion rate you just saw on 3rd down, over 43%. Keep Kenny King in. Here comes Lawrence Taylor around behind Plunkett. They get it to Todd Christensen. And the tight end gets down to the Giant 35. Not enough for a first down, Lawrence Taylor. Let's watch him. It's a pleasure to watch.
You know, Jim Plunkett has been around so long that even though he can't see from the back, see, there's Bruce Davis blocking on him. He can feel Taylor. He knows there's something there. He says, I got to get rid of that thing. Boom! Here it is, Todd. Taylor says, there it is. You see that play by Taylor? He was on Plunkett and then ended up making the tackle on Christensen.
He got an assist from Andy Hedden on Plunkett. Here is Chris Barr from 52 yards out, and perhaps the best holder in the league, David Hung. Back there with it. Barr. No. That might be asking a little too much of him. He's hit some clutch field goals this year. Won 3 games, in fact. That's the only scoring we have so far as you watch John Missler go in motion. Butch Wolf the ball carrier. Ted Watts, but Rod Martin made a heck of a play. Oh, what a good player he is.
I'll tell you, I was saying earlier, he was drafted in the 12th round. And it was funny the way he was drafted, Pat. I was, of course, with the Raiders then, and we got to the last round, and we didn't know who to take. We're talking about basketball players from AT and IG and stuff. So I called my friend John Robinson at SC. I said, hey, you got any players just laying around there that may be good? He said, yeah, why don't you take Rod Martin? He can play. So we took Rod Martin, and now he's been a great player.
Raiders showing blitz. Davis showing. There's Rod Martin. And didn't, early in his career, he was cut, was he not?
That's right. The Raiders cut him. The 49ers picked him up. The 49ers cut him. And then the Raiders got him again. Watch him here. He's the inside guy here, 53. Sees that tight end block down, tackle pull, gets right down there, flattens out, right down the line of scrimmage, and makes the tackle on the other side.
With an assist from Van McElroy, who is another find that the Raiders have come up with. 3rd and 3. To Missler. Bruner to Missler. Throw it quick, they say. That's enough for a first down.
That's what he wants to do. We'll see Missler here now. He just gets up here enough for a first down, turns around, hooks, Bruner, right in there on him, and they get that first down. That's not a bad play if you can stay in those 3rd and 4 or 5 situations. Where it's a terrible play is when you do that, you need 3rd and 12.
27 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Missler in motion again. Handoff is to Butch Wolfel. Reggie Kinlaw and Bob Nelson wrap him up. Green Bay in it in the first quarter. Speaking of first quarter, that's the end of number 1 here at the Coliseum. with the Giants ahead of the Raiders by the score of 2-0. Butch Woolfolk has carried on 12 of them. Make it 13 out of 14. He only got a couple. Howie Long is the man who made the hit that stopped him. With an assist from Bill Pickell. Very slow-moving first quarter. Greg Townsend, number 93, is another man. As Reggie Kinlaw coming out is another man you want to keep your eyes on. They said he wasn't big enough, but after they took a look at him, they found out that quickness sometimes overcomes bigness. And now he's getting big as well. Bruner, incomplete. Missler was the intended receiver, but sometimes you can throw it too quick.
Too quick, and I think maybe not far enough away from the line of scrimmage, you know, because that ball, that pass protection was really good enough, and I think if they're getting a little push in the middle, maybe Bruner should drop a little deeper.
Dave Jennings very quickly gets off another rocket. Greg Pruitt lets it sail, and it pops into the end zone and out. They'll bring it back to the 20. That's the ankle of Lyle Alzado, who is sort of the cult leader of the defensive line group for the Raiders. He has a bad ankle, and it doesn't look like he'll be back.
Timeout on the field.
Second quarter, Cliff Branch out wide to the left, Malcolm Barnwell at the top of the picture. Marcus Allen. Pretty tough going in there.
Listen to all that sound, all that cracking, boom, powing in there.
Brian Kelly made the stop.
You gotta love that. What's Dave Dalby now? He's been playing 12 years for the Raiders. He's going here against Jerome Sally. Watch this matchup here. Boom, Sally does a nice job. Gets underneath the shoulder pads. Hold that middle. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Here comes the ball. Pretty good. Spin around. He got it.
Pretty good play by Jerome Sally. We ought to check that one out again. Pass by Plunkett. Branch. The amazing Cliff Branch. Stopped by Terry Jackson. 11-yard gain. Branch has found some secret and has never gotten old.
He has never gotten old. You know, we took Dave Dalby in the 4th round and Cliff Branch the same year, 12 years ago. These guys have been starting forever, and Cliff Branch still has that same speed, that same quickness, that same size. He's never gotten old. You better not play him too tight. He'll go deep on you.
Still. Plunkett's handoff to Frank Hawkins, hit behind the line of scrimmage by guess who? Lawrence Taylor.
I'll tell you, they were on a blitz from the outside. Now watch, Van Pelt comes from one side, Taylor comes from the other side. And they just, boom, they got in there before the play got started.
They had those two side by side.
The old inside-out deal.
Now Taylor is lined up outside the right defensive end. Plunkett back to throw. Branch shakes one tackler, gets in Giant territory. Terry Kennard, Terry Jackson, both combined to get him down, but it's an 18-yard pickup.
You know, you wonder how Cliff Branch gets so open on the out pass. The reason is that the corner, Terry Jackson in this case, is so worried about Branch going deep that he respects it too much. He gives him too big a cushion. He's way off. Then Branch can just cut out in front and catch it in front of him.
With that catch, Cliff Branch has now gained over 8,000 yards on pass receptions. Marcus Allen for just 2. Jerome Sally.
That was with the Raiders. He was traded to Buffalo for Darryl LaMonica. That's how the Raiders got LaMonica.
And Jim Plunkett is now their quarterback on his umpteenth comeback. Hawkins barrels to the 40. Lawrence Taylor made the hit that stopped him. Close to a first down, maybe. Yes.
I'll tell you, I bet you Dave Dalby made a block on that one. Because if you're going to run in the middle, if you're going to run against a 3-man line, you have to get that nose tackle block. Now what happened on that play is Sally started to stunt. He started to stunt to his left, Mickey Marvin, the right guard, boom, picked him off, stopped that penetration, and they were able to get by.
Raider first down, just inside the Giant 40. Here's Allen again. And he nudges for about 3. Brad Van Pelt stopped him.
Stopped by Brad Van Pelt.
For an update, back to our New York studio, and Raiders are on the move. 9:50 left to play in the first half. Plunkett back to throw. Now he takes off. Plunkett slides inside the 30. Brian Kelly on top of him. Plunkett looks in excellent shape. He has a tendency to gain weight, get heavy, but he looks good now.
Well, I'll tell you, he's one of those guys that's very thick. He has great big legs, and he has to run all the time. Now watch what they do to the nose tackle here. Watch the right guard in the center. You see that? Boom. The guard gets him there. Center goes to the other side. Mickey Marvin does a nice job of taking him to the inside. Then Plunkett has that big alley in there. There's a guy who can block. Is that Mickey Marvin?
He enjoys the game.
Oh, he loves it. He'd play all day. Oh.
Plunkett got enough for the first down. Kenny King is back in the backfield now with Marcus Allen. Plunkett back to throw. They get Lawrence Taylor blocked. They have Todd Christensen wide open. Christensen struggles down to about the Giant 12 before Terry Jackson can get there, but it's a 17-yard pickup. It's an amazing story right there, too. Christensen.
Todd Christensen was a running back in college at Brigham Young, was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. Wade went to the New York Giants. He was there for a week, and then the Raiders picked him up, and he was a special teams guy, and they made a tight end out of him. Watch him here. He just comes across. The Giants are in a zone defense. Cliff Branch drew all the respect over there. You see that? And that opened the hole for Christensen.
First down, Raiders. Giant 13. Plunkett back to throw again on first down. The receiver, Don Hasselbeck, whom they got from New England. And Hasselbeck is a big target. 6'8". The Raiders get the lead.
Watch that. He puts Marcus Allen, is in motion out to the right. He does a little movement here. He looks to the right. Then he comes back to Hasselbeck here. And as you say, he's a big target. The Giants were in pretty good position. They had 3 guys there, but Hasselbeck was just too big. Whoop, right over the top of him.
A good throw by Plunkett. Barr for the extra point with Hum holding. Right down the middle. What's that touchdown?
This is what happens when you have a 6'7" tight end. We'll see it right here. See, Plunkett can see him, pick him out all the way. Look at that. You can throw it up over everyone, right into Hass. That was a heck of a throw.
It really was. John Tuggle slips. Tuggle to about the 25, but flags are flying all over the place.
Stopped by Otis McKinney.
Derek Jensen down to make the hit that stopped Tuggle. Raiders just went 80 yards in 10 plays against the Giants. And
Tom Flory said he's been much, much better since his return.
Bruner has Woelfel. It's a long setback. Here comes that counter play. Woelfel takes it outside. Doesn't take it far outside. Ted Hendricks, number 83. Ted playing a little bit hurt. Here's the play.
Watch this. We'll see it's a counter play. Woelfel will fake a little to his left. You see, it takes that little counter step, and now that allows his offside tackle, Brad Benson, to get in front of him. 60 there. You see, the only thing is Benson ran right by Hendricks. Hendricks is 6'7". You have to be able to find him. He's like a tree out there.
On second down, Bruner back to throw. Byron Williams gets some breathing room outside the 25 to about the 28. Good throw by Bruner. Mike Davis, the defender. But that one was hummed in the middle of a lot of defenders.
Right there, it was a heck of a throw. You see Hendricks is underneath, and we see right there, he does a good job. He runs the corner, Lester Hayes off, and then he cuts to the inside.
So it's first down, Giants. They go on a quick count, and Woolfolk being chased by Pickell and Bob Nelson and taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Wonder if Butch is going to get a lot of work.
He's already carried it 15 times today.
Round 60, round 60.
On the draw play, Bob Nelson reacts quickly. A little altercation going on between Howie Long and one of the Giants. I don't know that I'd want to get into an altercation with him.
Look at the arms on that guy and that Howie Long. I'll tell you, he is something.
51, of course, is Nelson. Third down and long, and that's Howie Long.
I'll tell you, we watched films of him yesterday, and I think we both agree that he may be the best defensive end in the league.
Wow. Well, he's got everything. Good technique, good quickness, great strength. Bruner steps up into the pocket. Incomplete. Flag is down, however. Penalty is going to be against Mike Haynes. Byron Williams was the intended receiver against the Raiders.
Defensive pass interference, number 22, first down.
Of course, Mike Haynes is...
So it's a first down, Giants. Out there, 7. 3 have come by penalty. Bruner fakes to Woolfolk on first down. Scrambles to roll, intended for Mowat. Incomplete. As Van McElroy and Rod Martin collide.
I'll tell you, that Rod Martin's all over the field. We've seen him in the backfield. We've seen him back here running with the tight end. I'll tell you, he does everything on this play, doesn't he?
Or pounce on the receiver. Here's Bruner trying to roll left again under pressure. Does get it away to Mowat, who can't hang on. And McElroy, number 26, the defender. Bruner under all kinds of duress. Just managed to get rid of it.
Third down, they had over 10 yards to go average.
That's hard to win that way. Eddings was the man in motion. Bruner out of the shotgun, steps up into the pocket. Has Floyd Eddings, and Floyd Eddings has some room, and he can run. Eddings to the Raider 35. Down at the 32 by Van McElroy. 30-yard gain as Eddings showed good balance and aggressiveness to go with it.
And I'll tell you, the Giants are doing a good job of pass protecting here. You see, because Bruner now can step up. You see, he can step up. He can get the ball out there to Eddings. He had man-to-man coverage, and once a man who was man-to-man on him fell down, he was able to pick up another 20 yards. But I'll tell you, it all started with the pass protection on that play.
It usually does. Here's Bruner. Let's see if he goes to work again on first down. No, the counterplay again. Butch Woolfolk inside the Raider 30 to about the 26. Bob Nelson on the tackle.
That was a different type of counterplay there. They usually try and get that to the outside, but the Raider defense was stringing it out, so Woolfolk cut it right back in a lot tighter than he usually does. But heck, he still picked up 6 yards.
So it'll be 2nd and 4. That's a comfortable situation. Atlanta on the scoreboard against the Packers. It's 21-7. The counterplay again. This time, Woolfolk lost about 3. Ted Hendricks and Matt Millen.
That was a heck of a play by Hendricks here. He played both the outside and the inside on that play. There's Ted Hendricks there. Watch, he's the outside guy. Now, Woolfolk starts to the inside. He plays inside, knocks the guard down, and then he bounces back to the outside and makes a tackle. That's what happens when you're 6'7".
He has a pulled stomach muscle. They say it doesn't bother him as long as he goes straight ahead. But when he twists or turns or tries to change directions, it does bother him. Eddings in motion. Here comes the blitz. Long, it may not have been a blitz. I don't know where he came from, but they had some kind of a stunt, I'm sure, because he came up the middle.
watch this. Long will come in, and he'll play tackle. He plays in the inside on passing downs, and it was a stunt. He just got free straight up the middle. Bruner looked up, and there was 75 Howie Long right in his face. So the Giants were knocked out of field goal position. Of course, they have to punt.
Dave Jennings back to kick. Greg Pruitt back deep for the Raiders. Los Angeles 7. Punt is blocked. Tony Caldwell. Bill Parcells said yesterday in a meeting they've got another guy on special teams who really does a good job, and that's the guy he mentioned.
He was talking about Caldwell, but you'd think that the Giants, being concerned with Caldwell, would have had someone on him. Now what happens, they get a block there, but Jennings was turning to his left, trying to get the ball out of bounds. Now watch Jennings here. He turns, he kicks it right into Caldwell.
So the Raiders are in good shape. They lead 7-2. So the Raiders have the ball. Plunkett going to work. Christensen open. Todd Christensen out of bounds at the Giant 31, knocked out by Brian Kelly. An interesting story about this guy. When he was drafted by the Cowboys, apparently they saw something and they said, we want you to try to play tight end, and he said, no, I don't want to play tight end. I'm a running back. So they had too many running backs, and he went to the Giants for a week as a running back, and is now the league's leading receiver after the Raiders convinced him that that was the spot for him.
You know, originally he came to the Raiders as a running back, and they used him in passing situations, not at tight end, but out of the backfield.
Funny how things develop. Plunkett again. Barnwell will get only a couple of yards out of that reception. Brian Kelly again on the stop.
You know, when he first came with the Raiders, he was a special teams captain because he was a heck of a special teams guy. The other thing that they did with him, because he was such a good athlete, they made him the punt center, the punt snapper.
And he's still doing that. Kansas City leads Seattle 14-7, second quarter. San Diego with Fouts, the quarterback, 21-7. The Rams leading Buffalo 7-0. Plunkett back to throw. Good protection. Intended for Marcus Allen, who had pulled up after coming out of the backfield.
This is the thing, as we watch the Raiders now, we'll see it's third down and long yardage, but they don't make any of those substitutions. They'll still be there. They'll still have the two backs in the backfield, one tight end and two wide receivers.
Tom Flores was saying yesterday one of the reasons they do that is because, number one, Christensen is such a good receiver, and so is Marcus Allen.
And it's another way to get the ball to Marcus Allen. He said he'll get the ball 55 more times by pass reception.
That's the number of receptions he had coming in. Here comes a giant blitz by Van Pelt. Plunkett. Ball is batted away by Harry Carson, intended for Christensen.
That was the coolest bat away I think I've ever seen in my life. Harry Carson was like he was standing out in the park there. Watch Carson. He's 53. He's playing a zone. So he's backing up, squaring off. Look, he sees Christensen there. Let's see if we can see him when the ball's through. Watch him. He just reaches in and goes, boom.
47-yard field goal.
47 yards out for Chris Barr. This one he can reach. And got it. So with 2:09 now left to play in the first half, it's the Raiders 10, the Giants 2. Draw. Butch Wolfel. John Tuggle now has it. Tuggle outside the 20. Jeff Barnes down to make the hit. Tuggle got to about the 23.
Jeff Barnes made the stop.
And we will probably have before play, and we will have indeed, the 2-minute warning before anything else happens. The Raiders 10, the Giants 2.
16 yards on the return.
Still no Lyle Alzado at defensive right end for the Raiders. Otherwise, it's the same as they began. Ernest Gray takes it from Scott Bruner, and he's now got some more room. Gray gets out of bounds at the Raider 45. Lester Hayes got him out of bounds. 32-yard gain. Ernest Gray having a great year.
Watch him. He starts here from the outside. He's running an in pattern against the zone. You see the corner. He lays off. Watts did. He's pointing in there to him. Gray makes the catch. Boom. Gets out here to the sideline.
Number 45, Bruner back to throw again. Finally makes the stop inside the 15. Lester Hayes on the assist. Aaron Williams flashing a little foot speed.
Bill Parcells wants a timeout. Now, I'll tell you, he hit an in from the left side to Gray and an in from the right side to Williams. The Raiders are playing off, and that's a heck of a pass pattern here. You see they're playing off. They're giving too much cushion out here in the outside, and we just see that in get in there, and they have a big hole right in the middle on both those plays.
Giants come roaring right back in good shape. Saw the timeout situation. Just over a minute and a half left in the first half. Scott Bruner looking. Intended for Ernest Gray, a little bit behind him. Mike Haynes right with him.
Well, on that one to Gray, Mike Haynes was so far off that Gray just beat him in the inside. Here he's playing man-to-man. He's playing an inside technique. Gray is running inside, and Haynes had that ball go right into his hand. It's tough to run an in down there in the goal line when the corner is playing the in. What they should do is come back with that same thing and run a corner. Bend them to the inside and then back outside.
Of course, Mike Haynes hadn't been here that long, hadn't played that much this year. Missler doing the motion. Raiders on a blitz. Bruner gets it away. Incomplete. No flags. Mulledy was the intended receiver. Van McElroy was out there with him.
This one here is good pressure here on Bruner. This time, you see, he does a little fake here. Here comes Nelson. He's coming up the middle. Rod Martin from the outside hits him just as he throws the ball, but that should have been caught. Again, he has a guy hanging on his shoulder. He gets the ball out there. You have to catch those passes.
That was a good throw, especially under those pressure conditions.
You'll have pressure on this one.
Third down and 10, and Bruner backpedals, and here comes that pressure. They go in the corner. Intended for Gray. Back there with him is Haynes. Here comes Ali Haji Sheikh.
So we see Haynes out there again. He's playing the inside. They run the quick up. Now, the thing that Gray did wrong there, Pat, is you should bend him in a little. Bring him in. Get that corner to think you're going inside because he's playing inside. Then you get a little room to the outside. Gray just went straight up, and Haynes just stayed right with him.
From 31 yards out, Ali Haji Sheikh with Scott Bruner holding. And the Sheikh is perfect. Rather unusual score at the half, 10-5. Well, it's not the half yet. A minute and 16 seconds left to play in the first half. Raiders 10, Giants 5. Montgomery back deep for the Raiders. This is Montgomery, Wilbert's brother. They can get some yards out of these things. Montgomery gets back to the 30. Pete Shaw, one of the tacklers, along with Lawrence Taylor. Finally, Bill Parcells said, the heck with it. Let's put our best athletes on the kickoff and punt coverage teams, and that's why Lawrence Taylor is there. As Lyle Alzado limps toward the Raider dressing room.
You know, where he has that ice back there, that could be an Achilles. You see that? He has it's on the back of the ankle, which is the Achilles tendon.
There's an injured cameraman going with him. I wonder if that's a sympathy pain.
It's tough down there.
Taylor after Plunkett. Plunkett just gets it away. Flag is down. Marcus Allen fumbles. Giants have it, I believe. Scramble is on. But there's a penalty marker down. Plunkett was hit late, I think. They're going to call by Lawrence Taylor, which is really going to upset him.
They don't know what to be upset about yet because they're just trying to get the ball. The Raiders did get the ball, so it's a Raiders ball. Now we'll go back and find out what the penalty is. Or he may be upset, but he wouldn't be as upset if they, you know, as if they recovered the fumble. He would have been more upset than he's going to be upset.
They're going to call roughing the passer. Look, watch Lawrence Taylor.
Defense, right end, personal foul, roughing the passer, hitting him from the rear after the pass, first down.
They call Lawrence Taylor the right end. He's a right linebacker. Now watch him here. Now Plunkett, he's going to come from the outside. Here he comes right here. Plunkett throws the ball, and he hit him after he let go. He really didn't hit him in the head, though. He just hit him in the back.
He didn't get as upset as he did earlier in the year. Now he's lined up in a different place. Marcus Allen. Close to midfield before Terry Kennard made the stop.
Terry Kennard made the stop.
Second down, about one. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Plunkett drops. Gets it up the middle to Christensen. Can't find a handle. Had it, juggled it. Lawrence Taylor had him by the jersey, and as Christensen tried to recover, Taylor wouldn't let him back.
Lawrence Taylor is playing Todd Christensen man-to-man. He hits him square up there, gives him a forearm. Now he's going to run with him. Christensen has the ball. He starts to bobble it, and as he's bobbling, trying to get it, Lawrence Taylor grabs him.
An amazing player. 3rd and 1.
Lawrence Taylor said, I want to beat on you a little before I cover you.
Which he did. Marcus Allen has the first down and more inside the 40 to the 37 before Harry Carson gets it down. 15 yards for Marcus Allen.
I think this is the thing that the Raiders...
Into the pocket. Branch at the Giant 20.
See, they'll go hurry up here because they don't want to use that last timeout. They'll probably try and get the ball out of bounds or in the end zone.
Plunkett goes out of bounds. Incomplete. Calvin Muhammad was the intended receiver if indeed Plunkett was trying to get it to him.
What he was trying to do is just get that ball out of bounds. Here's the play before. Here's Cliff Branch. He's running up, holds him, runs back to the inside, gets that ball for the first down. Then they hurry up, get the ball out. Now it's second down, 15 seconds. They'll take one shot in the end zone now. They make it, of course, it's a touchdown. If they don't, they'll kick the field goal.
Don't forget they have the luxury of that one other timeout remaining. So this is a well-conceived, well-planned drive by the Raiders. Plunkett to the end zone. Branch. Incomplete. He was covered well. Phil Courier back there with him along with Terry Kennard.
He was, and of course the Giants knew that they were going to take a shot at the end zone, and if you're going to take a shot in the end zone, you'd want to do it with Cliff Branch. Now, as you say, with having one timeout, there's 9 seconds. They can still take another shot at it here.
And that looks like what they're going to do. Barr is up and ready, but not on the field as Plunkett calls the play.
But the only place to throw here is in the end zone. You have to get the ball in the end zone.
Christensen, the tight end, is just off the line of scrimmage on the right side. Branch is down at the left. Plunkett to the end zone and out. Now with 4 seconds left to go, they'll have to have the field goal unit appear. It's well done, though.
Well, they did the right thing. They moved the ball. They mixed it up. They passed. They ran. They used 2 timeouts. They saved 1. They don't need it because of an incomplete pass. But they got in a position where if they didn't get the touchdown, they're in good position for a field goal.
38 yards out for Chris Barr. He has hit his longest of this year, 47 earlier. He has hit again. And the Raiders move further in front. That's the end of the first half as Bill Parcells takes his troops into the Coliseum locker room along with the Raiders. And Tom Flores, 13-5. Don't know that we've had that score before. Nope. But the Raiders lead the Giants by that margin, 13-5 at the half. This is going to be Clee Montgomery. Kick of the hockey sheet. Montgomery almost broke out of the pack, does get back outside the 30, and Lawrence Taylor put the clamp on. Halftime statistics, pretty even, really.
It is, and the big thing there is there's no turnovers by either side, and I think that's why we have this type of game. I really had the feeling that both teams were sparring in the first half. Maybe the Giants were waiting for one of those frequent Raider turnovers. They just haven't given it to them yet.
Raider first down at their own 30. They lead 13-5. Plunkett had a good first half. Marcus Allen in motion. Plunkett goes back to throw. Lawrence Taylor after him. Plunkett steps up, hits Cliff Branch. Branch tripped up by Brad Van Pelt up close to midfield, about the 47. Cliff Branch is 35 years old. We were talking yesterday about who is the oldest starting wide receiver he might be.
I'll tell you, but he looks the same. You see how, I mean, he has so much experience. He's coming across, he just feels. He feels there's Carson sitting in there. He's going to go underneath. He feels him there. Boom, he just goes up to the outside. What's 79 here? Bruce Davis, he's doing a pretty good job of blocking Taylor, keeping him to the outside.
And Plunkett, feeling that pressure from Taylor, stepped up into the pocket very nicely. Marcus Allen. Sorry, Kenny King. Harry Carson came over to make the hit. Kenny King, who I remember years past always wore those black high-top shoes. Now he's in white shoes and looks quicker.
White low-top shoes. Yeah, it was funny. Marcus Allen was leading on that play, and he couldn't find an outside linebacker there. He just kept running. Never did find a guy out there to block.
2nd and 2. King again. Lawrence Taylor tripped him up along with Terry Jackson, but it's a Raider first down.
It's a pretty good matchup here. Watch here, 32 is Marcus Allen. He's blocking man-to-man on Lawrence Taylor. Look for a halfback. He takes him in there pretty good. Gets that helmet in, shoulder square, gets Taylor going back. That's not a bad block there.
Tell you what, he did come firing off the ball, didn't he?
Yeah, helmet to helmet, paint to paint.
With Branch wide left, Plunkett back to throw, looking for Branch. Branch looking in the other direction to Christensen. Christensen struggles to stay on his feet, knocked out of bounds by Bill Courier. Christensen doesn't look all that classy. And I don't mean that with any disrespect, but he does know how to get open.
Well, you know, the thing that helps him is he has 2 speed receivers on the outside, and Cliff Branch, Markham, Barnwell. They go deep, and he comes underneath a lot.
You almost have to have your name start with a C to play tight end for the Raiders, don't you? Casper, Chester, Christensen,
Billy Cannon.
Cannon, right. Walker down is Greg Pruitt. flag is thrown in that area of holding. That's what it's going to be.
That's in the area where they usually catch the center or either guard. Right there in the running play. When there's a running play up the middle and they throw it that quickly right at the center, it's one of those middle people in there holding.
Offense, holding. Number 50. Second down.
Dave Dalby right in the middle.
Right in the middle. When they throw that flag, it's usually thrown right at the guy.
Raiders have only had 2 offensive centers in the history of their franchise. It goes back to 1960. The great Jim Otto, Hall of Famer Jim Otto, and now Dave Dalby.
Dave Dalby looks like the center, doesn't he, in the pitch? The beard, the whole thing, the sweat.
Pruitt in motion. Hand off to Hawkins. Breaks a couple of tacklers, gets about 5 yards out of a play that looked like it wouldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Terry Kennard makes the stop.
You know, the Giants don't line up in an even defense much. You see here, they don't have the center covered. Dalby comes out, cuts Carson. So now the fullback can start out that way and then cut back into that gap. Dalby got a good block on Harry Carson, knocked him down, and then that allowed the cutback.
It'll be 3rd and 7. Throwing down for the Raiders. Marcus Allen and Frank Hawkins are the 2 men behind Plunkett. Barnwell, and it's a touchdown. Malcolm Barnwell. Terry Jackson, the defender. 36-yard touchdown pass, well thrown by Jim Plunkett.
Well, you know, it's just a matter of time for the Raiders. They're going to get that up. They're going to get deep. You know that's what they talked about at halftime. This situation, they caught the Giants in a press playing a tight man-to-man coverage. Malcolm Barnwell just ran that quick up. Let's see if we can see it here in the left. Is the outside guy. He starts in. He goes inside a little, then back to the outside. That's Terry Jackson on him. Good throw right over the inside shoulder.
Bar for the extra point, and it's good.
Let's see if we can watch the pass protection here. Plunkett has good time. He's just backing up, throws the ball out, touchdown.
Led Barnwell away from the defender. That's a good throw. Barnwell touchdown. Chases Butch Wolfel 5 yards deep into the end zone, and he stays there. Barr hangs it high. Butch Wolfel comes up, can't find the handle. Finally does pick it up, and is down at the 11-yard line. Dokey Williams was down there quickly. Well, when things go wrong, they go wrong, don't they? If they had taken it like it was, they would have had the ball at the 20.
I'll tell you, he misjudged it. You see what happened there? He was back about 10 yards, and he said, geez, it's shorter than that. Then he had to make that burst there at the end, and he just didn't get to the ball. Luckily, he recovered it.
So Scott Bruner at quarterback brings out his Giant team, and they'll start from their own 11. Malcolm Scott was the man in motion. Bruner throws to Zeke Mowat. Up for a first down. Mike Davis on the tackle, 13-yard gain.
I think the Giants probably did some work at halftime and figured that they were running on first down all the time. The Raider defense was tightening up, and that's a good time to pass. First down when the defense is in there tight to stop the run.
First down from the 24. To Wolfel. To about the 28, 4-yard pickoff. Rod Martin, there's Tom Flores. He was an assistant for John Madden. John was the head coach of the Raiders. Good coach.
Yeah, yeah. He was a real good coach. I was laughing at Charlie Sumner was saying there. He's a defensive coach. He was saying, what the heck? We hit him in the backfield. But Tom was an excellent coach. He was a very good tactician. You know, very calm. Just the opposite of me, a calming influence. Kind of like you.
He was the Raiders' first quarterback, as a matter of fact. Here's Brunner. Hendricks jumps up. Brunner thought Missler was going to keep going up the sideline. He was covered by number 37, Lester Hayes, and Missler thought he should start coming back, and so the ball went incomplete.
You know, Ted Hendricks is a little like Too Tall Jones. When he comes from that side and he's rushing the passer and the guy starts to throw and turns toward him, Ted stops his rush and gets his hands up. And that was what caused that pass to go that way. Big Ted, Kickham. His nickname's Kickham.
Why?
Stork?
Matt
I'll tell
Stork?
you.
Okay. On third down. Brunner from the shotgun. High snap. He pulls it down. Ball is batted away by one of the Raider defensive linemen. Bill Pickell, number 71, is the one who got the hand up and knocked it away. Another one of those big young guys they have.
I'll tell you, they're really impressed with Pickell, and this is what a young guy has to learn. You're pushing up the middle, push. When the guy goes, just reach that hand up, make him throw over. You see him? He took that right hand and whack, just slapped it right back at him.
Here's Dave Jennings back to kick. Greg Pruitt feels it. Gets away from one man, stays on his feet, is finally cut down. Trying to get around the corner behind that wall, but John Tuggle was down there to make the stop. 42-yard punt, 2-yard return, a net of 40. Raiders 20, Giants 5. 3, the Giants 3, 8, and 1. A lot of time left to play, however. Plunkett to Marcus Allen.
You know, I was telling you about Ted Hendricks. What happened is we first got Ted, and we were having a practice, and it was a dummy scrimmage. Marv Hubbard broke through. Ted was chasing him, and he went to jump over him, and he didn't jump over him. He kicked him in the head and knocked him out. So we found out that Hubbard was okay, so they started nicknaming him Kick Him in the Head Ted, and they shortened it to Kick Him. So that's his nickname now, Kick Him.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That's sensible. That's Kenny King dancing in the backfield and not quite getting back to the line of scrimmage. Mark Wilson broke his shoulder after he had been given the starting job, and Jim Plunkett had been benched. I was talking to Mark before the game down on the sideline, and he was saying that they didn't put it in a cast. They put just 2 pins in it, and it's feeling good. Third down.
He sure had a great game against Dallas on
Didn't he,
that
though?
Sunday night, didn't he?
Plunkett gives to Kenny King. King is very close to a first down, about a half-yard shy, it looks like. Mark Haynes tripped him up.
Mark Haynes made the stop.
This is a thing that the Raiders do well. In fact, they do it a lot like the Cowboys. They didn't pick up a first down on that play. They're going to have to punt, but they give the ball around. I mean, Kenny King, Marcus Allen, throw to Todd Christensen, the outside receivers. They get everyone involved in the offense.
Clock running with 8:15 left to play third quarter. Pete Shaw back deep for the Giants. Only the second punt for Ray Guy, if you forget about the one after the safety. Todd Christensen, the tight end, is the center. Guy doesn't get this one. It bounces away from Pete Shaw. You heard him say, get out of the way. It turns out to be a pretty good effort by Ray Guy. 20-5, the Raiders lead, and the Giants will start at their own 16-yard line with 7:48 left to play in the third quarter.
That's what makes coaches Coach of the Year. Good players.
Brunner back to throw. Fakes to Missler. Now throws out to Missler. And Brad Benson out there in front of him. Bill Pickell, Rod Martin, and Bob Nelson all got out there very quickly.
That was one of those things that was an option thing. He had the screen or the deep one, and he faked to the screen, then tried to go deep, and there was nothing there. Now watch him. He'll come out here, and he's going to look out here. See, he fakes the screen here. Now he tries to go deep. There's nothing there, so he has to come back off to the screen. Of course, he has Benson out there, and he doesn't get the block. Good hustle by Piquel.
They only got a yard out of a fake screen, fake option. Back to the screen. Bruner on second down. Back to throw. Sprints out a bit.
Oh, way to go.
You hear that guy say down here? He said, "Way to go, kick him." Told you that's his nickname.
Right.
Not Stork.
Ernest Gray, the intended receiver.
That's John Matusak. Remember old Twos? He still walks around with a size medium shirt on that big body.
Usually has a companion. A couple of other scores. Kansas City 28, Seattle 14. San Diego with Fouts at quarterback, 21. Denver 7. Rams over Buffalo, 14-7. Third quarter. Third down here. Missler in motion. Raiders fake a blitz. Bruner operates out of the shotgun. Ernest Gray. Ernest Gray. Lester Hayes is the only man with a shot. Now Haynes turns him back inside. Lester Hayes got out in front. And James Davis cut down Gray. 62 yards for Ernest Gray.
There's a guy that's having a big year for the Giants, Ernest Gray. Bruner out of the shotgun. You know, that height really helps Scott Bruner because he can stand up there, he can see, he can find Gray in there. It looks like right here he should have just used his speed, stayed out there, keep going, got a block there, then he had to cut back and he was caught from behind. Let's watch Gordon King here. He's doing a pretty good job of pass protection. He takes Townsend to the inside, just puts him right down at Bruner's feet. That was a heck of a throw by Bruner, though, with that guy right at his feet.
Ernest Gray has caught 3 passes for 99 yards already. Bruner goes back and right to work. In the direction of Gray again, but Bob Nelson was looking eye to eye with Bruner, and he had to get rid of it.
I think Scott Bruner felt the pressure on that one, and as you said, he just didn't want to take the sack there, and he just threw it away because Bob Nelson, 51 there, he gets in free. No one touched him. Watch him here. Here's 51 here. See, he's pointing a little delayed blitz. He finds a hole there. There's no one. Scott Bruner sees him, says, "I got to get rid of that thing."
So that'll make it 2nd and 10. The Giants at the Raider 20. Byron Williams is the man in motion. Draw play and nothing doing. Dave Stalls is the man who came and made the stop, along with Bob Nelson one more time.
Stalls is a backup nose tackle, and he usually goes in the game on passing situation. You see, he makes that move around the center. He was making a pass rush move. He thought it was a pass, and he said, "Look what I found. A little draw coming into my arms."
And if it had been a pass, he'd have been all over Bruner.
I know, he made that good pass rush move, that outside arm over, right up the middle, and found a draw.
So it's 3rd down. Giants keep 2 backs in this time, and Bruner comes back. Looking at Gray. Intercepted by Mike Haynes. That's the first turnover of the game. Good play by Haynes. They went through a lot to get him.
Well, it was a bad read here because this is double coverage. Watch Gray out here. See, Haynes is inside out. Watch him. He has the outside. He has help inside. See, it's a double-double. See, he has inside out. So when Gray starts to the inside, Haynes doesn't go with him. He just stays on that outside and goes right back there.
Pressure on the quarterback by Jeff Barnes, and the interception by Haynes. As I said, they went through a lot to get him, and his team leads 20-5.
He's happy to be back in football.
They moved Lawrence Taylor over to the left on defense, and they moved him to the right place. Charlie Hanna came out to try to block him.
Harry Carson of C21.
Carson came in to make the tackle.
Second and 9.
D. Hardison trotting off to the sideline. George Martin usually comes in passing situations, number 75. The turnover comparisons, the good teams can overcome it. The less than good teams can't.
That's exactly true. I think you can afford a couple of bad stats if you're a good team. If you're a bad team, you can't.
Plunk it out to Kenny. Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen is dropped at the 29.
Bill Courier came up to make the hit.
To be 31.
See Jim Plunkett, he raised up to 3 fingers. That means that he wants, that there's third down and short yardage, and he wants his short yardage offense in there.
Which means he will get Derek Jensen and Hasselbeck, who caught his first touchdown pass. Barnwell got the other.
And no wide receivers. There'll be 3 tight ends.
Derek Jensen, number 31, lined up in the backfield to the left. Hawkins and Allen. That's Hawkins. Hawkins bangs into the Giants secondary and has the first down and more. Terry Kennard was the first Giant to make contact. Hawkins, great quickness.
I was going to say Frank Hawkins is the Raiders' short yardage specialist, like Pete Banaszak used to do. He's not a big fullback. He only weighs 210 pounds. Watch him. He starts in here to the right, feels this soft spot back here. See this hole right here? Feels that, cuts right back into it, and of course picks up the first down.
As a matter of fact, John, they really don't have a fullback type, do they?
No, they have all halfbacks. They have 6 halfback types on this roster, no fullback type.
First down from the 37. Branch. Mark Haynes made the stop. 21 more yards for Cliff Branch.
Let's watch if we can see Cliff Branch here. Watch how you feel a zone. You just can't run a pattern against a zone. You feel it. Now watch Cliff Branch. He's right here. He's going to go in. Now look, he feels where all those guys are. He situates himself right in the middle of 4 of them, works back a little, and gets the ball. You don't run all out against a zone. You feel for holes in it.
Raiders have always had guys who know how to get open.
I'll tell you, Fred Blitnikoff had a lot to do with that.
To Barnwell from Plunkett. Inside the Giant 30 to the 28. Mark Haynes, the defender. 14 yards on that pickup. Let's go back to New York again. Full Coliseum. It's the Raiders 20, the Giants 5. The Raiders on the move. Rick Pruitt over the right side for about 4. Brian Kelly made the hit.
I'll tell you, that right side of the Raider line right now, Mickey Marvin and Henry Lawrence, they love that when you get in there and run in there behind them. They love to run block. Watch your right side here. Mickey Marvin and Henry Lawrence, they're going to do a cross block. See, Henry Lawrence, the tackle comes down. Mickey Marvin goes to the outside. They get a good push from the offside. Pruitt gets through.
So make it 2nd and 6 as Pruitt got 4. Henry said yesterday at practice, Henry Lawrence, we went back to basics. And everybody feels a lot more comfortable with it. Lawrence Taylor on the blitz. Barnwell, the intended receiver. Bill Courier out there with him.
I remember when the Raiders got Henry Lawrence, we saw him in the Senior Bowl. Ed Too Tall Jones of the Dallas Cowboys was the #1 player chosen that year. Henry Lawrence was on the same team. We're watching him practice, and Henry was blocking Too Tall. I remember I said, you know, if Too Tall's the best guy in the draft, and this guy's blocking him, heck, maybe we ought to take him. So that's how we drafted Henry Lawrence #1 that year.
You know, he was a heck of a basketball player in high school and a track man. Not as big as he is now, obviously, but he averaged over 20 points a game. Flag is down as Hawkins is the ball carrier, and he is knocked backwards.
He used to tell me that stuff. Is that true?
Well, I went to high school in Florida and know a little bit about what went on down there. And yes, he was a good basketball player. As I say, averaged over 20 points a game. To Palmetto.
Look at him with all those
High
pads
school.
and stuff. Look, he got pads, gloves. He couldn't shoot a basketball if his life depended on it.
He probably couldn't dunk it now.
He couldn't dribble it.
I don't know. He fell down pretty well yesterday and got up in a hurry.
He was showing how I chewed him out one day.
Offense holding. Number 70.
Uh-oh.
Third.
That's Henry.
Anytime you start to talk about a guy and watch him, he's going to do something wrong. Hey, Henry, don't do that. Look at him now, he's upset. I had a game once and the referee walked him off the field and called a timeout. I said, why'd you do that? And he said, well, he's goofy. I said, I know it, but why'd you take him off the field? Sometimes he acts strange.
That's just the way he is. Third down. Plunkett. Right down the middle to Calvin Muhammad. The ball just went right through his hands. It was a good throw by Plunkett.
He was wide open. Muhammad was underneath. Watch this against the zone. Watch him. He's going to start off here. He comes in motion, and now the ball will be snapped. He just continues on underneath. You see, they drive the defense deep. He has Jackson Beaton here, right in his hand.
Ray Guy will make another appearance. Shading his eyes against the sun. 1:50 left to play in the third quarter. The score, the Raiders 20. The Giants 5. Pete Shaw back deep for the Giants. Ray Guy might run it. Tried to hang the knuckler. Ball hit right on the goal line, and he almost did a whale of a job. As it turned out, it's a 14-yard net. The Raiders 20, the Giants 5 in the closing seconds of quarter number 3. Pretty impressive sight. Two backs in for the Giants. Now they both come out. Malcolm Scott was the receiver, one of the Giants' two tight ends.
Isn't that something? That's one of the first time that the Giants used two backs. The Raider defense was all yelling, two backs, like that was a new discovery in football.
First down tendencies. Rushing plays 12 to 11. Passing plays 14 to 9. Butch Wolford. Lester Hayes had a shot at him. McElroy trimmed him up. Wolford has carried 21 times today already for 58 yards.
Look, it's that counter play again. You see, he runs it from halfback now. He has to wait for his tackle. You see his tackle, Brad Benson? He gets out in front, makes the cut back there, makes Hayes miss, and of course McElroy makes the tackle.
It's another guy that's been a very pleasant surprise for the Raiders. Van McElroy, son of a Baptist minister.
Sub 3-3, sub 3-3. Round 80, set, cut.
Bruner is down. Hendricks rushing. Mike Davis came on a blitz. That's the third sack of Bruner by the Raiders.
Hendricks is going to come right down from here. See the left-hand side. He's the guy that makes the first move. See, he gets him there. He makes Bruner step up. He gets him a little. Then the strong safety, Mike Davis, is up right inside. Look at Kell in there going for the ball.
Around the other side. That's the end of the third quarter with the score, the Raiders 20, the Giants 5, and we now pause for a word from your local station. Fourth quarter. Start from their own 28-yard line, Missler in motion. Bruner gets to Wolford, and he gets knocked back to the line of scrimmage. Greg Townsend on the bottom of the pile, number 93. Help from Howie Long.
Well, Howie Long is normally the left defensive end of the Raiders. He's playing the right side now that Lyle Alzado is hurt. He took an inside move on that one, and he's so doggone strong that he just collapsed the whole side of the Giant line.
Stalls is now, well, they're in a four-man front now. Bruner steps into the pocket, has some time, comes out of the pocket, chased by Long, and he'll be hit by Long just as he lets it go. Pass intended for John Tuggle. Van McElroy back there with him, number 26.
Watch Howie Long here. He's the guy that we're talking about. You see, they started double. Billy Ard is blocking him. Good pass protection. Has him there a little. Now watch when he sees a move here. He starts to hustle to the outside. Says, "Oh, there it is to that side. Let me go get that quarterback." Doink.
Dave Jennings back to punt.
Holding West 57.
Somebody yelling holding. That's Greg Pruitt. They got something set up here. Pruitt gets into Giant territory, knocked out of bounds by Dave Jennings, the punter. Johnny Carson in attendance today. Sure, he's got a good seat. 42-yard punt, 21-yard return by Pruitt. Back in behind those wires and all those petitions, John Madden and me. Long way away from the field, but this is a great place from which to view. You can see everything that goes on, just about. And if you can't, with the raw eyes, you can watch it on the monitor. First down, and Plunkett goes back to throw on first. Van Pelt on a blitz. Marcus Allen. Bill Courier came up. That was a good effort by Courier. He got Allen out of bounds. 1-on-1. That's a challenge.
I'll tell you, and Allen just took that ball and exploded into Courier. Courier had good position. Square, head up, shoulders, knees bent, and the whole type of thing. But Allen really exploded into him, didn't he?
He has that explosion. He has exceeded, I think you said earlier, just about all the expectations that the Raiders had for him. They knew he was a good back, but they didn't know he was this good. Second and short. Allen again. And with that explosion that you just mentioned, he got a first down on his own.
I'll tell you, he was exploding forward. Lawrence Taylor was coming across the field and exploding sideways. And that was a heck of an explosion versus an explosion. Watch Taylor here. He's on the other side. He sees it. Watch, right down the line. Flatten down, right down the line. Now watch this collision here. He's going forward. Taylor was going sideways, and poof. Poof. That's a long way to run to make the tackle.
Lawrence Taylor, a very active player. Some of the other scores. Seattle, Kansas City now tied. It's first down Raiders, and Plunkett will throw on first down again. And again, Van Pelt comes on a blitz. That's a good effort by Malcolm Barnwell to keep both feet in bounds. And that's something that just doesn't happen by chance.
Nope, he's standing right there in the sidelines. Look, he knows where the sidelines are. He has to get the ball. Keep that left foot there, the right foot. He got it. That is something. That's balance, being able to hang.
San Diego still leading Denver 21-7, fourth quarter. Rams 21-14 over Buffalo. They need to win. Both teams getting to that place in the season where every game is a must-win. That's Kenny King. Dancing for a couple. That's all. Mark Haynes on the tackle. Jim Plunkett. People keep asking Plunkett why he keeps playing, why he keeps coming back. And he keeps saying the same thing. I like the game.
I'll tell you, you don't see that on an artificial turf field. See those birds they're down there getting some of those worms. You got worms and stuff on the grass field.
I thought they were after seeds. Plunkett back to throw, and here comes the blitz again. Intended for Christensen, and Terry Kennard almost picked it off. A penalty marker is down as Plunkett was really hit.
I tell you, Kennard almost had that ball. It would have been a touchdown, but it wouldn't have counted because the Giants roughed the passer.
Second time today was Bill Courier on a blitz who hit Plunkett. 12-14 left to play in this contest. The Raiders leading
Defense,
the
number
Giants
70.
20-5.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. First down.
Number 70.
It's big Leonard Marshall. He's a rookie. Now he's going to come right here. We see him right from the outside. We just missed him there. But he hit him after he threw the ball.
I think we might have accused the wrong guy. I think it was Courier coming from the outside. Fumble. They messed up the exchange between Plunkett and Marcus Allen, and now we're in a scramble.
I think the Raiders jumped off sides. In addition to that, it looked like to me that the left tackle, Bruce Davis, moved. They didn't call it. Yeah, he did. You see the left tackle move? The officials didn't see that. This was going to be a draw or delay play. Plunkett put it in there properly, just bounced right out.
Allen was looking for some place to go before he had the ball. Second down. Well in motion. The handoff is to Marcus Allen. Steps out of one tackle, steps out of two. And now look at this. Raider touchdown. What an effort by Marcus Allen on a play that should have been thrown for a loss.
Teach those types of things. You know, there's that old saying that great players make things happen, and I think that's an example. Some players make them happen, some watch them happen, and some don't know what's happening. He makes them happen.
He made that one happen. Barr hits. And it's 27-5.
Let's watch it here. Now, Marcus Allen is going to start off here to the left. Watch. He gets penetration there. He gets knocked off here, spun around there, turns back and says, geez, I see something out here. Todd Christensen, make a block for me right there. That's all I need. Okay, I'll get the touchdown.
And the Raiders lead 27-5.
Here first is watch Lawrence Taylor. He get right after the handoff. He gives him a little limp leg, the old right leg. Marshall, he gives him a straight arm. He runs through that tackle, by that tackle, gets a little block here, and he gets in the end zone. That was quite an effort.
That's some run.
That had everything, a limp leg, a stiff arm, a run by, a speed.
It's John Tuggle, 3 yards deep in the end zone, and he wisely says, I won't bring it out. Next Saturday, don't forget again, Florida State against Florida. Florida State has Greg Allen. Florida has Wayne Peace. That's football. After that, it's basketball. And one of the great rivalries. Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosiers meet the powerful Kentucky Wildcats. And that's always a real battle. First and 10 for the Giants from their own 20. Raiders leading 27-5. Mulledy went in motion, and Brunner goes back to throw. Fires up the middle. Ernest Gray has it at the 40. Rod Martin back there close to him, along with Jeff Barnes, but Gray has 4 catches for 118 yards. And Ernest Gray is moving in on the all-time number of receptions for a Giant in a season. Record held by an old friend of mine, Dale Schaffner. Brunner back again. Good protection. Byron Williams makes the catch, close to first down. Bob Nelson made the stop.
I'll tell you, if Brunner can get time, he can throw the ball in the middle because he does have that height, and he can see and find those receivers in the middle. Sometimes he just doesn't get time, and he doesn't throw the running patterns as well as he does the zone type patterns.
Well, he's got a strong arm. An inch. Raiders leading 27-5. Perfect afternoon. Weather-wise. Not if you're a Giant fan.
This 2nd and 1 is a fun down to call plays on. You can't be wrong.
Mully in motion. Bruner gets it to Mistler and gets his first down at about the 42. 10-yard gain. John Mistler. Let's go now to Brent Musburger. Tough to keep up with. Here's Bruner back to throw and going deep. Has a man. Touchdown. Byron Williams turning on the afterburner. And Bruner putting the ball right there from 43 yards away behind Lester Hayes.
You know, Bill Parcells was saying yesterday, he said somewhere, he said, we want to take a shot on Lester Hayes because he gets a little sloppy there. Now watch him. Lester's up there tight man-to-man. Williams gets by right there. He has him beaten all the way. Now this is a heck of a throw here, right. Watch, right out in front, over his head, where there's no way that the corner can get to it. The only guy that can catch that is Williams.
Heck of a throw, and Williams showed you why he's out there and why he's playing with that great speed. He's from Texas, Arlington. Ali Haji Sheik hits, and it's 27-12. Butch Woolfolk has had a problem in recent weeks with cramps. That may be what that is.
But just again, the Giant line has been doing a pretty good job of pass protection there. It was against an all-out blitz, and that's why it was man-to-man out here in the corner.
Woolfolk didn't hit anybody. It must be clean. The Raiders over the Giants. Pat Summerall, John Madden, and Ali Haji Sheik set to kick off. Greg Pruitt and Lee Montgomery back deep. There is the Sheik. To the 25. That touchdown by Byron Williams, by the way, was his first ever in the NFL. Next Sunday, by the way, in the NFL, it begins with the NFL Today. St. Louis at New York, these are the early games. Rams at Philadelphia, Atlanta at Washington. Later on, Dallas at Seattle, Tampa Bay against the San Francisco 49ers at Candlestick. Plunkett's still the quarterback. Frank Hawkins nudges over the right side. D. Hardison tripped him up. With 2 or 3 exceptions, Jim Plunkett being one, the Raiders have a very young team.
Well, they do. That's one thing that the Raiders have always done. They've always kept bringing youth in. Then, as the old retire, the middle-aged become the old, the young become the middle-aged, and you keep putting young players into your team.
Plunkett looks to Branch first, then looks out to the right to Clee Montgomery, who is now one of the wide receivers, then overthrew him. Bill Parcells looking on. Tough year for him. Another personal illness in his family, his mother and his father. And of course, they've had 24 players on the injured list at one time or another.
Coming out of training camp, they were a pretty good team, and then they didn't have a lot of depth. And then once they started to lose those players, it was just like snowballed on them.
On third down, Plunkett back to throw. Looking upfield. Throws upfield incomplete. Todd Christensen saying, hey, I was wide open, but nobody saw him. Let's see what happened with Lawrence Taylor.
That's what the fans were booing about. They thought that it should have been a roughing the passer.
Todd Christensen, number 46, the tight end, snaps for punts. And here's Ray Guy, perhaps the best ever. Although he hasn't caught one today, he's about due. Almost blocked. Guy just did get it off, and it's a short kick. Giants really put the pressure on. Guy just barely got that one away. Frank Marion came rolling in.
I think that ball may have been tipped. It sounded like it was tipped. Let's see if he did get it. It's right up there. That's the place to hit it. I don't know. I couldn't see there, but it sounded like he tipped it.
Did sound like it. Sound like two quick sounds.
Let's see if we can see it here. He's going to come from Ray Guy's left.
He must have gotten a piece of it. It sure looked like it. It wasn't a typical Guy effort. So the Giants take over at midfield. Come on, MADDEN, how you doing? Ernest Gray flanks out wide to the right. Giants take over at midfield. Byron Williams out wide to the left. Plenty of time left. Winner back to throw. Woolfolk stays in to block. He went the wrong way to block. That's the fourth sack. Dave Stalls and Bill Pickell came roaring in on top of Brunner.
What happened here, Brunner was trying to throw deep, but the Raiders double covered both of his outside receivers. You see him? Look, he's looking right, double coverage over there. By the time he tries to come back to the left, there's about 3 black jerseys on top of him. Now watch, here's part of a double coverage. Ernest Gray falls down right there. But you see the double coverage? That's where he was looking.
So it's second down and long now. Brunner back to throw, has time. Overthrows Ernest Gray, the intended receiver. It was second and 19, so now it'll bring up third and 19. For an NFL update, let's take you back to Brent Musburger in New York. Coliseum, it's third and 19 for the Giants. Fourth quarter, 27-12 the score. Brunner back to pass. Raiders on a blitz, and he has no chance. They're saying he was in the grasp. He got away momentarily. Greg Townsend and Howie Long back there quickly. And the Giants will have to punt.
You know what happened on that play? It looked like the right side of the line didn't even get out. Now watch the right side of the Giant offensive line. Maybe the ball was snapped too soon. But watch them. They're still in their stance. The ball's already been snapped. And watch them. The tackle and the guard are still in their stance. That was a mix-up on the snap count. That shouldn't happen when you play in the 13th game of the year.
Good kick by Jennings. Chases Pruitt all the way back to his 22-yard line. No place to go, and Greg Pruitt gets out of bounds. Pete Shaw shoved him out. Greg Townsend was already in the backfield before Gordon King ever thought the ball had been snapped.
No, he was still there in his stance, and everything was happening behind him.
Kansas City 35, Seattle 31, third quarter. San Diego has moved further in front of Denver, 28-7. And the Rams lead Buffalo 24-14, third quarter. Rams could take over sole possession of first place.
They could be the Cinderella team this year, you know?
They could be. Marcus Allen, left side for just a couple of yards, no more. Harry Carson made the stop. Allen 13 for 64, 1 touchdown. Bill Parcells looking on, a Giant head coach, talking to his coaches up in the press box. Second down, 8 yards to go. Raiders from their own 30, leading 27-12. Plunkett back to throw. Does throw. Threw quick. Barnwell, the intended receiver. No. Dokie Williams, who's quite a story. He was a long jumper at UCLA. They say he has tremendous leg strength, leaping ability. Great speed, of course. Excuse me, John.
Well, he only caught 8 passes, but 4 of them were for touchdowns. And all the scouts really didn't think that he had good hands, but when a track man plays football, the thing that he misses is spring football. And he never really gets the basics down. You just have to take a chance on that guy and hope that you can develop him, and that's what the Raiders have done.
And it seems that they've been successful. Lead Montgomery on a reverse, swings around the corner. Andy Hinton grabbed him by the jersey and flung him to the ground.
There's a lot of talking down there on that sideline, isn't there? Guys yelling at each other. Yeah, they tried to break that one, and that didn't work. The Giant defense played that well.
So the Raiders, Plunkett comes to the sideline, and Ray Guy comes back into the game. 34.8 his average, far below what he would normally achieve. Pete Shaw back deep for the Giants.
Get this motherfucker on.
Almost got another one. Shaw lets it bounce, and it bounces out of bounds. Guy under pressure again. Byron Hunt was the man who put the pressure on. 40-yard punt. Ray Guy looking at perhaps what happened to my protection, because the last two, one of them was tipped. And that one was very nearly blocked. Ray not very happy with the way things are going.
He took it out on that chin strap, didn't he? He has been pressured, though, the last couple of punts.
Runner back to throw, going for John Missler, and he might have held on. 18-yard pickup. That was a heck of a catch if he did. Mike Davis, the defender.
And that's throwing the ball into the teeth of the zone. Watch this, the zone, there's no man-to-man. It's all playing area here. And watch, there's two in front of him, two behind him, and he catches it right in the middle of that group. But there was a penalty on the play, so it's not going to count anyway.
Well, that's tough when you make that kind of effort and then there's a penalty. That was a good catch.
Offense, number 60, holding.
Brad Benson, the culprit.
Those are the types of passes you can't throw an awful lot of those, because if you throw three, one of them will be coming back at you. You have to make the tackle.
You'll also lose one of your wide receivers.
Well, you could lose them to injury, and you could lose their friendship also.
1st and 20. Winner keeps on a draw play to Woolfolk, and Bill Pickell takes him down.
Well, you know, the same thing happened on that play earlier. Dave Stalls was in there. He's a nose tackle. Watch him right here. He's the guy right here, 61 on the right. He's making a pass rush move. Look, he's rushing like it's a pass play. He gets in there, seeing he makes the first play there, and then Woolfolk gets away from him, and Pickell makes the tackle. But Stalls caused it by getting the penetration.
Chased again, and down he goes again. Lost the ball, but not a fumble. That's the 6th sack. Bruner took a pretty good hit. Now he's holding his ankle, and he's limping.
I think he got kicked right on the ankle.
Calling for help is another Giant down on the other side of the field.
Watch it. We'll see the pressure coming from Bruner's right, and he gets leg whipped. You see Townsend goes down right there. Now watch his left leg. I think that's where Bruner got kicked, right there. You see that? He got kicked right on the ankle, but then there's another Giant down also.
That's Malcolm Scott up the field. That's Malcolm Scott right there. He seems to be regaining whatever was lost. Greg Townsend is maybe the one who fell on Bruner's ankle. And then it seems to be loosening up or warming a little bit. That's Jeff Rutledge, in the meantime, warming up his arm. Ex-Ram quarterback.
See if we can see Greg Townsend now. He comes from the left-hand side of the screen, 93. Watch, he's down there, he goes for him.
Tripping
then he
behind the line of
lifts.
scrimmage. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It didn't make it to the line of scrimmage, so we move it another yard. So it makes it to the line of scrimmage, and it's first down.
The appears that Bruner is going to stay in the game. There is an exciting game, by the way, going on, Green Bay, Atlanta. And at the conclusion of this one, we'll be switching you to that one. Eddings comes out wide to the left. Time remaining here, just under 5 minutes. Here's Bruner back to throw. Townsend. Penalty markers down again, and Bruner hit by Townsend.
Greg Townsend is a rookie that you talked about earlier that many teams thought was too small to play this game. He's 6'3", 240 pounds, but he's a natural pass rusher.
Illegal use of the hands, into the face mask, refuse, second down.
72 is Gordon King. He was the guy that was trying to block Townsend. And not only didn't get him blocked, he also had a penalty. But some guys just have a natural knack, you know, of getting that shoulder pad up underneath the offensive guy's shoulder pad, getting him pushed and turned. You see him right here? See how he has that left arm underneath? Now, you can see King's left arm is on his face mask, and he just pushed him to the head.
Townsend would remind you of Fred Dean, about that same size, but so very quick. Bruner across the middle to Mulledy. Mulledy outside the 15 to about the 16. Lester Hayes on the stop. So it'll bring up third down in about 8 or 9.
These are the type of situations that defensive linemen love. You know, they're ahead 27-12. They're in the fourth quarter. They have to pass, and they just tee off on every play.
Green Bay 34, Atlanta 31, but our information is that Atlanta is at the Green Bay 30 and driving. We'll be sending you there after this one's over. Pressure again from Townsend. Pass thrown and caught by Ernest Gray. Almost on the ground. Bruner gets the ball there. Lester Hayes, the defender. Pass is complete.
But you will see him. Gray is the outside guy here. Hayes has help to the inside, so he's going to the outside, but Gray just hooks in front of him. And that ball is thrown the only place it could be thrown and caught, low and back.
Ernest Gray's caught 5 passes for 134 yards today. Raiders lead at 27-12. Clock running with 3 minutes, 25 seconds left to play. Mulledy again swings in motion. Bruner backpedals. Pass is picked off by Van McElroy. McElroy gets it for the Raiders in Giant territory at their 48. Second interception of the day by the Raiders.
Hey, he'd been taking that big rush, and they've been on there all the time, you know, pushing him all day. And then he just throws this one. He had to move a little. You see it gets up in the air on him. It's high, but it was single coverage anyway. McElroy was a free safety just sitting back in the middle. Let's just watch this rush that Scott Bruner has been seeing all day. Seems like he's been getting pushed back, you know, and he has a tough time stepping up.
Stalls and Long and Townsend all back there close to him. Bucket to Hawkins. Stopped by Brian Kelly. For an update, let's give him. That's Lawrence Taylor in obvious pain. Raiders leading the Giants 27-12. Hate to see anybody get hurt. You hate to see a man who plays the game like he does in any kind of pain.
It looks like he's trying to stretch something out.
You got to have down to 2:46, which is the official time.
That looks okay. 2 minutes 46 seconds left to play officially here. Tell what happened. Something happened to his back.
You can see it. Something tightened up on him because he's trying to get stretched out and loosened up.
Other final scores of earlier today. Bears with a big win over San Francisco, 13-3. Second down and about 7. Plunkett Gives to Kenny King. Nothing doing. Jerome Sally and Leonard Marshall. Other scores. Tampa Bay beat Houston 33-24 for their second win of the year. The Jets overwhelmed New England 26-3. Kansas City leading Seattle 35-31 fourth quarter. San Diego now comfortably over Denver 31-7. And the Rams 24, Buffalo 17. Lawrence Taylor, by the way, is back in the game. That big game, Green Bay 34, Atlanta 31. But as Brent Musburger told you just a second ago, last we heard Atlanta was at the Green Bay 7. The conclusion of that exciting contest coming up.
Billy White Shoes Johnson made another big play. He's having quite a year, isn't he?
Isn't he, though? Remember, we saw him against the Jets. Almost single-handedly won that game. Then last week, of course, that controversial touchdown that he scored on the last play of the game. Lawrence Taylor, clock running. Don't forget, next week in the NFL, the early ones, St. Louis at the Giants, Rams at Philadelphia, Atlanta at Washington. And then later in the day, Dallas at Seattle, Tampa Bay against the 49ers at Candlestick. Getting down to where every game means something to those who are still alive.
But how about Dallas and Washington? You know, everywhere you go, they can't wait for that one. You know, that's the one everyone says, who do you think's the best team? And every other time I give an answer, I say Washington and Dallas.
Everybody says, you're going to be there. Yes, we will. Blitz is on against Plunkett. He got rid of it. Just barely got rid of it. Intended for his tight end, Todd Christensen. There, Plunkett's been hit a few times today, too.
Well, he was hit by the corner that time. Terry Jackson came from his backside. The Giants want to get the ball back. They know. Watch it from the left-hand side of the screen, number 24, Terry Jackson. See Kennard move over? That frees Jackson up to come from this side. Watch him right there. There's Terry Jackson, the right corner, hitting Plunkett just as he throws the ball.
Plunkett 19 out of 33 for 243 yards, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and for the second week in a row, no sacks. Ray Guy back to kick. Giants with a lot of people up front, and Pete Shaw back by himself. Hawkins taking a long time. Guy hangs it high. Shaw will field it at the 8. Pete Shaw hit at the 15. Kenny Hill down to make the stop. 2-minute warning. 34-yard punt, 7-yard return. Just to bring you and keep you up to date, Green Bay 34, Atlanta 34. Nick Luckhurst just hit a 22-yard field goal with 2:15 left to play. That one could be headed for overtime, and that's where we'll be headed. Bruner to Missler. Flag is down. Woolfolk out of the backfield, not Missler. To find out just exactly what happened, here's Brent Musburger. Giants, 1:49 left to play here at the Coliseum. It was Gordon King. Raiders leading 27-12. Receiver batted away.
Well, the Raiders are playing a true prevent defense now. They have the 3 linemen up in the line of scrimmage, the linebackers off, the secondary real deep. They're just not going to give the Giants an easy one or a big play here.
The Green Bay Atlanta conclusion coming up. Bruner 17 out of 36, 321 yards. He's been sacked 7 times. Busy day. Bruner has another one deflected. Stops the clock with 1:40 left to play. Greg Townsend got his hand up and batted it down. He's got that, as they say, the explosion we were talking about before, off the ball. That's one of the things, along with quickness and desire that makes him a good pass rusher.
You know, he played his college football at TCU, but he was a local player here from Long Beach.
Missler in motion. Bruner standing in the end zone, going up the middle. Has his pass caught, and very nearly for a first down by Byron Williams. He may have it. They're moving the sticks, I'm sure now. Well, maybe not. Move it back.
Well, it's fourth down. The Giants are going to go for it anyway, but it is a first down.
Bruner has him up quickly. Clock running now. Bruner lost the football, picked it up, and lunged for the first down, but there's a flag on the play. Dave Stalls tripped Bruner. Raiders were offside.
75. Offside.
Howie Long.
First down.
They've done a pretty good job on Long today because he's playing in a strange spot.
That's the thing. He started over on the left side. Now he's playing on the right side. And I think Brad Benson has been doing a pretty good job of pass protecting him.
Going to have to do it again. Bruner fires up the middle. Greg Townsend was all over his knees and legs. Let's go one more time to Brent Musburger. Back left to play here. The Raiders 27. Giants 12. Bruner back to throw again across the middle to Butch Woolfolk. Woolfolk lunges for another Giant first down. Clock still running. Giants hustle up quickly. Giants have 2 timeouts remaining. But Bruner's ready to go. Stalls up the middle all over. Bruner passes picked off by Rod Martin. That should just about take care of things at the Los Angeles Coliseum. A 10-yard return. That's the 3rd interception of the day, and Bruner limps to the sideline. He has taken a real battering this afternoon.
I'll tell you, the Raiders, you know, once you know it's pass, you can still get a push with a 3-man pass rusher. Now, Stalls gets that one over the center. I'll tell you, he's a pretty good pass rusher over that center.
Executive producer of the NFL on CBS, Harry O'Neill. Charles Milton III, the senior producer. Today's game produced by Michael Burtz, directed by Sandy Grossman. Raiders ready to go as you look at the rest of our people responsible. Clock running now with just 20 seconds left to play, and the Raiders can list this one under W and improve their record to 10-3, and it looks like playoff time for them. Coming up, the conclusion of that exciting contest between Green Bay and Atlanta. So let's take you there now for the exciting finish of that game. Here is Frank Gleber.